good morning. Welcome back to Character GPS, your guidance system for life. And you are a very special group of students here, right? You all have something in common, which is you all are GPS graduates, right? You've got the toolkit. And as you say, you've got the compass inside you, right? You've got the tools, you know what it takes to be successful in life. So the opportunity today is to see if you would like to sign up to help coach now someone else on that journey. Since you've already been through it, you know what it's like, right? You can help them along, give them some encouragement. And of course, we all know that when you teach someone else, you're helping them, right? But who are you really helping? Yourself, right? So this will really help reinforce for you as you continue on your leadership journey. Yes?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What time and place?
We're going to get to all that. We're going to answer all those questions for you. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so if you reminisce for a minute, thinking about how proud you were when you finished the Character GPS program, right? The accomplishment of knowing all 7 toolkits. And now it's just a matter of practicing it, right? Put it into your life to make a difference for you. But as a leader, remember, you are leading other people too. They're watching you to see what you're doing because they realize that you've got something they don't, right? So our opportunity here is, okay, say, well, now you got the whole toolkit, so what's next, right? Well, now we're going to invite you to be on the Seminole Heights Character GPS leadership team, right? So you're going to join in with Miss Debbie and I and with the staff here as everyone here in this team is trying to help all the students, right, become all they're meant to be, to get their diplomas, right, as the stepping stone to the rest of their lives. So, as you know, your principal here, he is committed to helping all of you, right? And he knows that this program is a key to that process, right? To get that diploma, because that's the stepping stone. If you don't have a diploma, it's hard to get any kind of decent job or to pursue your dreams, right? It's the foundation.
That's true.
So, what do we do then as leaders? Well, we give hope, right? People need hope. They need to believe that there's something better for them in their lives, right? If they don't have that, they're not motivated. They're just in survival mode. And that's a tough way to live, right? Just surviving from day to day. But you guys, you all have dreams, you have goals of what you can do, you know your talents, right? And you can pursue those dreams. And while you're pursuing them, you can encourage someone else to get on the same path, to be able to do what you're doing. So Miss Debbie and I, we work hard. We've been invited to the statewide Restoring Hope Conference as speakers. So they love what we're doing in Character GPS, right? It works. You guys are testimony to that. So we work pretty hard, but also, just so you know, because we often are pretty serious, right? So we try to have a little bit of fun too. So while we're at the conference working late at night, Miss Debbie tries to keep us loose, right? So, all right, so we try to have a little fun, right, on the journey. And of course, Miss Debbie, she always says, you know, you got all these presentations and, you know, she's taking like all the pictures. I don't get to be seen much, right? So I had to make sure that we got her in the front of this. So this was on her birthday. Her favorite place to go is to Black Rock because they had this chocolate lava cake.
Yeah, your birthday, go Black Rock.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. All right, so just wanted you to know that we have fun too, right? We can be purposeful, we can be intentional, but we can have fun on the journey. And we want to have you join us with us on that. So today, by coming here and just thinking about this process, getting informed, getting trained, that you could help coach other people, whether it's at home, whether it's here at school, which is what we're going to formally do, but anywhere you can be a mentor. And it's a great skill because it looks great on your resume. Employers want to hire people that know how to mentor, right? Because it makes their whole team better. So this is something that'll help you get scholarships if you're going to college, whatever it is. But today, you're going to get kind of an overview of this process, and you're going to get $50 to boot. That sound pretty good deal? All right, we value your time, right? So, looking back again, you now know, right? You can live like a weather vane, or you can live like a compass, right? What's the problem with people that live like a weather vane? Because where's the weather vane point? Wherever the wind's blowing, right? They're guided by their emotions. And so if you're making emotional decisions, is that a good strategy?
No.
Now, because you're going to feel good one day and bad the next, right? But leaders, right? Mr. Cannon, I'm joining the leadership team here at Seminole Heights. You know, you ever wake up in the morning, you don't feel like going to school?
Yeah.
But what do? You go to school, right? Because you guys have learned that when I follow principles, I don't follow by how I feel. I make wise choices, right? I make a commitment, I follow through on the commitment because people are counting on me. But people that are weather vanes, right? They're kind of just trying to fit in and follow, right? If you're following along with what everyone else is doing, is that going to lead you to success? These days, probably not, right? So instead of being a follower, we've trained you guys to be leaders. And so part of that process is practicing then how to lead yourself and others, right? So following these principles, when you have sometimes a tough situation, you make the decision to follow the principle because it always works, right? So regardless how you feel, but you see probably other students around here living what we kind of call a sad life, right? Because who are they focused on?
Themselves.
Themselves, right? My emotions, what I want to do, the world revolves around me. Is that reality? No, last I checked, I think the earth revolves around the sun, right? And we're all on the earth for this ride, right? But we have to decide how we're going to do it. But if you think everything's going to come to you and just be given to you, you're going to end up with adversity, right? And then you end up disappointed. Would you say we have some students here that are kind of disappointed because they think it's going to work somehow differently than the realization that you have to work hard, right? Because remember, short-term hard, long-term easier, right? You guys know that, right? So when you follow then the GPS approach, you are taking control of your life, you're putting the effort in, right? And then you get the results out. That's why we're so proud of you guys. We're really excited about your future. So joining this process is going to help you because you know your brain, right? How it works. People that are very emotional follow their primitive brain, kind of like animals, right? Fight or flight. But you know that you got to calm your emotions down and work with the frontal lobe. And you're still in that development process, right? To have that frontal lobe serve you well in making your decisions. So, remember how we always do this in class, right? So Ashanti, can you change your past?
No,
What can you change?
your future.
The future, right? We're trying to help you get to the future. You can help someone else get to their future. And it's a very rewarding process when you feel that you're making a difference in someone's life. So we want to be on this straight line, right? We want to be focused. But we're humans, so what happens?
Distractions.
We get distracted, right? But in our program, we gave you tools to try to minimize or even eliminate some of these distractions so you can stay focused. Some of these other students here need help with focus, right? They got lots of distractions, they got lots of drama, right? And you gotta just say no to all that, and you gotta say, this is what I'm here to do, right? I don't need all that drama. So the opportunity here then is to say, I realize that I have the truth, okay? And that truth has been planted now, and you've got the compass, right? But some other students, because of trauma or whatever, they still believe things that aren't true. Right? You might even relate to this, some of that, right? Sometimes kids think for whatever's happened to them, they think they're worthless. But we all know how much you're worth.
Priceless.
You're priceless, right? Sometimes they think they're broken. But no, you're capable, right? Just because something bad happened doesn't mean that's the end of it, right? You overcome. You get knocked down, you get back up again, right? Sometimes they think, oh, I just can't be responsible, right? That's a cop-out, right? I can't be responsible. We know that everyone can make good decisions, right? And the more good decisions you make, the more you're on your path to success in life. Some kids think they're not smart, right? I remember we had one of our students who were solving the puzzles, and they solved, and she goes, I'm smart. Like, I said, of course you are, she realized, but she had in her mindset that she wasn't smart because she compared herself to other people. All of you, I'll tell you, you are smart. If you made it to character GPS, you are smart, right? So we want to instill that in the students that are going to be starting now here for the spring so that they can know how to learn, how their brains learn. Sometimes they don't think they're talented, but we all know that everyone has talents, right? You do your Myers-Briggs, they're just different. So you go comparing, you're not going to see the truth sometimes, right? Sometimes kids say, oh, I just want to fit in. Is that what you're trying to do, to fit in? No, you're leaders, right? You don't have to worry about the pressure of fitting in. You are following your path, and people will start following you, right? So sometimes life's kind of tough. They're feeling alone, right? But what? You can be part of a team, right? Work on your family at home, maybe work at school to build a team here of people that are focused on getting their diplomas, or maybe you have a job, right? And at your job, you're all working as a team. You don't have to be alone in life. That's a tough way to go. But some people think, oh, I gotta figure it out all myself. Isn't that tough? Phew, that is tough. But we all know that two are better than one, right? So be coachable, right? Get on a team, start working together, solving the challenges of life, and you're gonna enjoy the ride. So this is how we have to kind of help some of these students that still have these false beliefs, right? To get over to where you are, where you know the truth, because the truth will set you free. Beautiful, right? So here they are. They're on this path, and they got lots of distractions in front of them, right? But where are you? Well, you're a little further along, right? You've been through the training in GPS. You're dealing with trying to reduce those distractions, and what you've learned is valuable to the kids that are still trying to learn that. That make sense? So just by being you, just by talking and helping, you can encourage someone else. So the straight line, remember GPS creates that straight line by following our 7 toolkits. Let's see how much we remember. So the first toolkit, PR stands for proactive responsibility, right? Making good decisions, right? Don't lie your way out of it. CD, my favorite, can do, right? Don't give up when it's hard, push through. TD, talents discovered, right? So remember, you've got talents, but they have to be developed, right? You gotta work at it, right? Then you can create a vision, right? So creating plans. So we did some career, coaching with you, career pathing, right? What careers are a best match maybe for you? And then our 3 T, self-management, stands for managing your time, temptation, and treasures. You guys, you know this, right? And then MR, meaningful relationships, right? Win-win, we help each other, we don't do all the drama, right? And then the highest level, TLC, team, love, collaboration, right? When you know how to work with other people, you're gonna create greater results in life, right? So, you guys are equipped, right? You can help someone else here get the same toolkit. So instead of just trying to find the compass, hopefully that we get the compass inside them, right? So they can use it every day for pursuing their dreams in life. So, by definition, what is mentoring? Mentoring is a one-on-one relationship, right? You provide coaching, advice, right? You're helping a mentee, someone that you're guiding along, right? Personally and professionally. You're a role model. You can be a teacher. You can be a support system for that person. So they don't have to go life alone. That makes sense? So that's what the mentoring role is all about. Now this is our first group of mentors we had 12 years ago when we got started at Berkeley Prep, right? And they're all in the same position that you are, right? High school students figuring out what they're going to do with their lives, and they joined in and said, we want to help some other kids get along the process as well. So here at Seminole Heights, David Stroud, who took our program last spring, right? He's accomplished some things. He was the first to become college level, reader level. He's the first ambassador here at Seminole Heights, and he became the first GPS certified mentor this last fall. He went through the mentor training. So he's excited to be on the process, and I think you guys are going to be as well. All right? So when I find leaders, I start giving them mentoring opportunities. So Miss Debbie and I, we moved. It was painful. We had to move all this stuff. I lived in the house 27 years, right? So we recruited some people to help us, right? We were paying them. So we chose David because he knows how to mentor, and we had a middle school student who also had great leadership potential. So his name's Landrick. So we got the two of them to come help us. And during the whole time, David was just coaching Landrick, telling him about girls and all that kind of stuff, how to handle things. Like, it was a lot of fun. But we worked hard, and they got paid, and that's why Landrick was throwing his hands up. He was voluntary. He didn't know he was going to get paid for helping us. That's what kind of leader he is. So what is the commitment? The commitment is, again, to give encouragement to someone else that they can do it, right? Once you believe you can do it, that's half the battle right there, right? Then it's a matter of then following through and doing it. Second thing is, usually people struggle when they don't feel good about themselves, for whatever those beliefs issues, right? But when you start to help people believe in themselves, right, then they can start believing in themselves, right? it sometimes takes someone else to believe, right?
You.
That you can actually do it, right? And then they start to believe it themselves. Then, of course, helping them, then how do I apply these principles to our lives? And then, of course, showing that you care. So the process will be that you'll be matched up, again, ladies with ladies, gentlemen with gentlemen, right, one-on-one. But the key is you'll choose what day of the week, what's a good day for us just to huddle for 30 minutes or less. You know, it depends on how long it takes to talk over what's happening with that kid that day, right? But the key is consistency, right? I'm gonna do it every week, right? That's how we did in GPS, every week, taking the steps towards getting them to graduation. And then you're gonna come to graduation and celebrate with them, right? So whatever those challenges are, we can help them heal and accomplish that. That sound pretty good? All right, so how do we do it? So the key with this one-on-one, and you agree mutually, what's the best day for us to huddle? You set a time, whatever, so that you are committed to do it together. And then there's 4 steps. You do a check-in with them. How are you doing, right? Emotionally, how you doing? Is everything okay? And then, of course, checking their attendance and their, academics, and so just what's the progress, right? What's the status? And then you give them feedback. Say, hey, you're doing pretty good. Or you might say, you're doing okay, but you could do better. I know you could do better, right? All that's encouragement. Then you'll actually always study for the GPS post-test because we want you guys to ace, master the materials that we're teaching, right? And then you help them visualize how they can overcome some of the challenges that they're facing, right? So it's just those 4 steps. But the whole way it works is just by meeting consistently, right? Because when you take the time to meet with them, right, you're sending the message that they must be priceless, right? They must be valuable. You're taking a little bit of your time to pour into them. Miss Debbie and I, teachers like Mr. Cannon, we're all pouring into our students because we know that you're valuable. You're priceless, right? It's worth our time to do that. So that's what gets us up every morning, right? Early, right? So once you then have that, you have a sheet, you're just going to record kind of what you've accomplished that. It's very easy. We'll show you how to do that. And then you'll come celebrate at the GPS graduation at the end of the semester. Okay? So that's the process, all right? So now we're going to have a little bit of fun because we're going to walk you through, okay? Now, this is what the tool looks like. So hopefully, did everyone coming in, did they get a copy of this?
I did, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
Did everyone get one?
They simplified it.
Okay. So it's just one sheet of paper. All right. And I'll tell you, when I showed Mr. Mangum the list of our mentors today, he smiled. He said, yeah, these are our leaders. So he has confidence in all of you. So all it is just recording this conversation in a very simple way. We're going to show you how to do it. So your first meeting with your mentee is they're going to start classes next week. Okay? Now next week, we've got the 15th is Martin Luther King Day. So I think we're off school, right? Okay? It's a short week. So we're going to start class with that overview. And then the following week will be your first mentoring. So let's just say that you were going to meet with them on Thursday. That's when you set up. Hey, Thursday, like 9:30, something, take a little break from your studies, right? So you're going to meet with them, and then you're going to ask them how they're doing with attendance, and how they're doing with tardies, right? Just kind of recording. And then, of course, if there's any behavior, I don't think, you guys never had any behavior issues, but there's probably maybe a few that might have. And then you're just checking in on what classes they're taking, and how are they doing, okay? Then the backside is then just reporting that you've done these 4 steps. So yeah, we looked over their data. Yeah, I gave them some encouragement. Yeah, we reviewed the post-test, right? So do you remember our GPS post-test? I'm going to go ahead and give you.
You'll have the answers.
This is, you get now the answer key, right? Of course, you already know the answers, but just, so that you have this to read from, right? There you go. You're welcome. Love those manners. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So, you're just going to walk through reviewing the questions and seeing if they seem to know this stuff now. If they've got it now moved from short-term memory to long-term memory, right? So, like, I am not a V. not a vampire, right? I'm not a victim, right? Now, you guys are able to make choices in your life. So we go through that, just that quick review, and then you visualize, you talk over, so how can we set some goals? So down below, maybe it's attendance. So hey, we're gonna have a week where no absences, you know? And of course, if they're really sick, you know, you gotta stay home, but we're gonna shoot to get up in the morning, right? Get yourself set up and ready to go. And then maybe they were having some attendance issues, or tardy issues, so we're gonna try to reduce it. So maybe the goal will be, 0 and 1, because they were having 2 or 3 tardies a week, right? And then you just write down, hey, they shared with me they were a little frustrated, their parents were a little frustrated because they're not making progress as they should, and they talked about one subject area, right? That's all there is to it. It takes just a couple minutes just to write it down. You guys can relate to some of this, right? All right, so that's all you're gonna do. And then you just turn this sheet in every week, and you can take a picture of it and text it to me, Miss Debbie, right? We'll give you our phone numbers and everything. You can do that. And then the best place is probably just to put this in your character GPS guide, right? Your binder. Because if you have that with you, you can always just show them, hey, this is what my Myers-Briggs was. You can kind of show them things that they can relate to. So pulling out your GPS binder might be a great way to keep all your sheets together, so you can kind of look from week to week how your mentee is doing. Okay?
And if they're missing any notes.
Yeah. So there's again, our test. It's a one-pager, right? Okay, so now when you hear that, the MGM music, right? We're gonna do character GPS theater, right? Now this time though, I'm not gonna ask any of you. I'm gonna take this pretty lady in the back here to do this role play with. So Miss Debbie is gonna be my mentee. Okay, so have a seat. Oh, yeah, we need to make this look more realistic, right? So
Every school we've gone to,
it's a cold day, so shouldn't Miss Debbie be wearing slippers, right? Okay, and those nice warm blankets that some of you have, right? Okay. All right. All right. She's gonna have her blanket around her, right? All right. All right, so you've got now your sheet, so you're going to kind of follow along the process. Imagine that you're mentoring Miss Debbie, right? She's a pretty good student. All right, so here we go. Okay, so this is going to be my first meeting with my mentee, Miss Debbie. Now, normally it's ladies to ladies and gentlemen, but we're married, so it's okay, all right? So you might, though, just to kind of get acquainted, you might know the student that you're working with, but still you might just to kind of connect, say, hey, good morning, Miss Debbie, how you doing?
oh, I'm tired and cold, but I'm here.
Hey, just as we get connected now in this mentoring, what's your favorite subject? Biology. Oh, I like science too. Biology, chemistry was kind of my thing that I liked, right? What's your favorite hobby? What do you like to do?
Love to play the piano, music.
We know that, right? I played the trumpet. Right? So just kind of make a couple connections with them. Let's check in and see how you're doing here. So the first thing you're going to see on here, guys, is you're going to check in, how are they doing, okay? So again, this is Thursday the 25th that we're meeting, so in the future here, right? You're just going to have, from a scale from 10 to 1, how you doing today, right? 10 means, wow, they're amazing, like most of you guys, right? 1, terrible, some terrible crisis, or anywhere in between. 5 would be, hey, I'm okay, right? So Miss Debbie, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'd say 5.
Okay, all right. Well, is this just today, or how's this week going for you? About the same?
About the same,
Okay,
yeah. It's
so-
not great.
So you see how I put 5s in there, right? So she's okay, right? No major stuff, it's just, life, right? Okay, so then I say, okay, so now last week, we had a short week, right? 4 days. How'd you do on your attendance here?
So
Were you
last
here all
week-
4 days? 4 days, yeah.
Well, there was Martin Luther King Day.
Right, Monday, yep.
I missed that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, but I was late.
No, no,
What
no.
was it? Sorry.
We practiced this
Practiced
yesterday.
it
Okay.
yesterday.
So what happened on Tuesday? You weren't here on Tuesday. Remember, because after Monday,
Oh, right. Oh, because it's Martin Luther King Day. I love Martin Luther King, and my friends and I, we did some activities, and we stayed late, we went to some Lions speech, and I was tired the next day.
all right, so you didn't
I had all
make it
these texts
Tuesday,
coming in,
but
all
you
these
made it
social
Wednesday,
media.
Thursday, Friday. So see how I put an A on the 16th, right? Absent. So how'd you do then the 3 days that you came to school?
I came late.
Uh-oh, okay.
That's a problem.
All right, well, we can talk more about that, okay?
My
So,
parents have been on my case about it.
yeah, I can imagine, yeah. So how about this week? How's your attendance been?
Better?
Yeah,
Yeah, better.
right, again, I'm discovering this, but I'm interviewing her, but we're trying to do a role play for you, okay? So that's great that you're all 4 days so far, that's wonderful. How's then the tardy situation?
That I still have trouble with that.
Okay, so what days were you tardy?
I don't know what it was.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn the form too. On Monday and that.
Okay, so
Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday, I write down a 1 for each of
And
those
after
2 days.
Wednesday.
Okay, well, that was better than the week
Wednesday.
before, okay? And then obviously you're not in any trouble, right?
No,
Okay,
I
great.
I respect people.
Yeah, that's great, that's great. Okay, and then your subjects, so can you kind of read off to me what subjects you're currently now studying right now?
Well, yeah, algebra, biology, my favorite,
Mm-hmm,
English 1, English 2, and geometry.
okay. So now how you doing in those? So what kind of grades you've been getting on the,
Biology, my favorite subject, 95.
that's great,
Yeah, that's really good. And algebra's good, it's 93.
okay? So I'm writing these down, I'm just interviewing her, okay?
And English is pretty good, English 2, 89, and English 1, 84. But I'm struggling with geometry.
Okay, so geometry is a challenge for you, okay? The grades lower, are you missing some assignments?
I think I am, yep, missing 2.
2, okay, so I'll put that down, okay? So you notice I put an H over on the side, right? Because a 70, she's kind of in danger, right, of not passing that class. She's gotta get this grade up, okay? So we're just kind of checking in to see how she's doing, right? Okay, now flip over to the back side, right? So now that I've kind of collected that, I've been asking her about her data, right? So I just kind of then you say, so how you feeling overall, how you're doing then? You think you're doing okay?
Okay, then I gotta work on those tardies.
Right.
On time.
Well, you
It's
made
hard
some,
to get up in the morning.
made some progress, I know you can do better. But you notice how I didn't let her off the hook and say, it's fine, because it's not. But I said, you can do better, right? When you believe in someone, you say, hey, I know you can do better, right? They need to believe that in themselves too, okay? So then I ask her, so then we do the GPS review, right? So I've got, you all gonna have this key here, right, for the first test. So I'll check in. So the control for my life is A, somewhere out there, B, hard to find, C, my decision, or D, in my family's hands. What do you think?
Let's see.
That's right, my decision. You got it. That's great, okay? And then I am not a V.
Vegan, I'm not vegan.
No,
Not a
come on.
vampire.
Not a vampire. What's for being proactive,
Oh.
not reactive? You're a,
Not a victim.
there you go, very good. So I just go through the questions, you're just kind of reminding them and seeing if they're forgetting one, then you're gonna help them get back on track with that so that they're ready to ace the test, right? Get in the 100-100 club, okay? Takes just a couple minutes to do that. So then we come back and say, okay, so now, looking at where you are, so can we set some goals where you can then try to do your best? So this week, you have no absences, right?
Right.
Do you think you can do that next week?
I will try. I will.
There you go, right? Remember, try or try not, right? There is no try, do or do not. Okay, so you see on the goal, number 1, I put A equals 0. So she's making a commitment. I'm gonna stick with it, I'm gonna be here each day. That's, for many students here, that's huge, right? Even if it rains, you're still coming to school, right? Okay. And then tardies, okay, so you were tardy a couple times this week. So what would be an improvement? Can we do better next week?
Yeah, except
Okay.
why am I tired?
Okay, so first, it's like, the goal is either like 0 or maybe 1 tardy would be better than what she did this last week, right? So then I kind of asked her, I said, so What's causing you to be late?
My mom, she would pick out her outfits for work in the morning, it takes a long time.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what could you do to kind of make that fail-safe so you don't have to worry about in the morning?
What could I do?
Yeah,
Probably set an alarm.
okay.
to
So-
get us all going.
So if you picked out your clothes the night before, then maybe you could kind of talk with your mom about doing that too, so everyone's picking everything out the night before. Does that sound like a good strategy? Right? So we're just kind of helping her think of some strategy that can overcome whatever's getting in the way of them being able to be successfully here on time, right? Okay? And then how about with your subject? So geometry is the one you're struggling with, right? So can you get caught up on those missing assignments?
Yeah, if I get here on time, I know
You
I
have
can
the
do
time to do it. There you go. So how about those be your 2 goals then for this next week, and then we'll check in again next Thursday and see how you're doing.
That sounds great.
All right, awesome. All right, way to go. Okay, having a hand for Miss Debbie, right, our student here. Okay, you stay nice and warm. So that's all there is to it, right? You're just having this conversation, and this sheet guides you, right? So all you got to do is just put the numbers or the information in, and then take a picture of both sides, and you'll send it to us, right? And we'll give you our phone number, and that's all there is to it. You know, if you're talking for a little bit, it may be up to 30 minutes. You might get done in 20 minutes, right? So the key, though, is that you're just doing it consistently, right? That's the key. So if they're having trouble with attendance, right? If they don't show up on Thursday, you've got Friday like as a backup. But you choose which day is best. Okay, now we're doing our classes. They'll be, supposed to be in class on Wednesday. So you can say maybe Wednesday would be a good day because they have to be here. They're having trouble with attendance. But you pick the day, get an agreement with them, right? The time, and then play that through. Just generally don't pick Fridays, because if for some reason then they're not here on Friday, now you're trying to get them started the next week and now you're falling behind. That makes sense? So usually Monday through Thursday is the best day to choose to do your mentoring session. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, that's the process. And I know that Mr. Mangum is proud of you guys helping to join the team. And so, we've been on the journey with you guys since last